Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second part of our previous lesson. My name is Samuel Ngon, and I'm one of the instructors at Trade Africa community. In our previous lesson, we promised to give an example of two different traders, successful and unsuccessful ones, and their particularity. So, let's now dive into the two examples. This is the failed trader over here on the left. So, the first trade, there is 10% of their equity. They bought today and they're going to sell when they either elated or panic. Second trade, they were going to risk more if the last trade won. So, if my last trade won, I have more money to risk now. They're going to buy today and they don't know when they're going to sell. Third trade, they were going to trade more if they were desperate to rent, because if they lost on the second trade after risking more than the first trade, they now have a big hole to dig themselves out of. They buy today and they're going to sell as soon as a profit is assured. If you're tempted to trade this way, you probably will not last longer. Let's consider the example of the successful trader here on the right. The first trade, there is 1% of their equity. They buy and sell according to the rules. Second trade, there is 1%. They buy and sell according to the rules. Third trade, there is 1%. They buy and sell according to the rules. You noticing any differences here? These traders have rules. These traders follow rules, and these traders going to be successful in the long run. We are trading in a very competitive market. Trading irrationally will not going to allow you to compete against investment banks, hedge funds, and technology advanced traders. You need a system, a process, a set of rules that help guide your trading. By the end of this program, you're going to have a very strong idea about what those rules look like and how they work. How to survive and how to become a successful trader. Successful traders focus on minimizing losses instead of maximizing gains. This is especially important for new traders. Please, don't worry about maximizing the amount of money that you make. Focus on minimizing the losses that could occur. Secondly, establishing rules. Very important. Successful traders use all kinds of rules to run their trading business. Defining trading system as well as to guide individual trade, where to get in, where to get out, and then finally improving the execution of their rules. We will talk more about that in the future. Here is the right way to start your trading journey. You're going to learn to think of trading as a system, and that's what the whole first part of this course is about. Then you want to gain knowledge about market and trading system. We're going to introduce this idea in this course, but there is a lot more to learn after this. After that, establish a method for self-evaluation. Individual traders have a big component of the performance tied up in them in the way they trade. So, being able to understand how you're working and if you're working well using your system is an important part of trading. Finally, practice, 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 then evaluate and improve. This is the basic process we're going to go through in this course for trading. and we're going to get into a lot of depth on each one of those individuals. Let's talk a little bit about what you need to learn to trade successfully. First, learn as much as you can about the market you intended to trade. There are plenty of information available on individual market, including here at Trade Africa, and you should read or watch our free videos as much as you can and learn as much as you can about this market. Secondly, learn how to manage risk. We're going to be talking about several ways to manage risk in this course, but this is not the end at all. Continue to focus on learning new ways to manage your risk. Thirdly, learn about yourself, because trading is an unstructured endeavor. It's important to know what you like and what you prefer. We will talk more about it in the future during trading psychology course. Those all play into how you trade and how you become successful at trading. Finally, practice skills that matter most. And here, one of the skills that matter most for traders is managing risk in order to survive and stay in business. Here is a quick summary of what we discover on this chapter. We talk about trading not be easy. Trading requires managing risk, and individual traders can trade successfully if they practice, follow rules for managing risk. In our next lesson, we will talk about market indices. That's going to be the big one, trust me. We invite you all to subscribe to our channel, or you are free to ask questions through our website, tradeafrica.com, for a free Zoom meeting. See you next week, and thank you for your time.